It has been a bad couple of days for Donald Trump, crashing the American economy, the stock market, all from his golf course where he was, instead of attending a ceremony for fallen American service members, because he only cares about himself. That is the only thing that is ever going through Donald Trump's mind, which is why it was so embarrassing for him to have to cancel an event this weekend, not just for him, but for Melania Trump as well. Yes, humiliating his wife. We're going to get into all of it and the panic that is happening at the White House. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video. And if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, of course, this event was canceled because of the massive protests causing huge panic in the White House. And before we can get into what it was and why Donald Trump is so sad, I want to hear from some of these protests today. Eric Swalwell at Hands Off in D.C.
This is what kicking the shit out of fascism looks like. This is what it looks like. We've seen a lot of people cave to fascism in America. We're not. We've seen the CEOs cave. Will you cave? We've seen the law firms cave. Will you cave? We've seen the colleges cave. Will you cave? We can't cave. My name's Eric Swalwell. I'm the son of a cop, a mom who was a baker, and I went to college as the first in the family on a soccer scholarship. And before every big game, before every season, the coach would tell us, I want you to close your eyes and think about what does that last moment of the game look like? And I want you to think as we begin this season of democracy, what does the last moment of this march look like? We win! That's what it looks like. It's justice. It's redemption. It's accountability. And it's renewal. Because as you stand here right now, we have gone from a Trump slump to a Trump train wreck. We are going into a red recession. Our 401ks are 201ks. Our costs at Walmart and Home Depot and Target, where 4 out of 5 of the things we buy are from overseas, are going up. And where is Donald Trump? He's golfing. So to Donald Trump, I say, get your ass off the golf course and face the people. America first. It's Trump first. This guy is a con. Trump Bibles, made in China. Trump sneakers, made in China. The Trump coin, made on a computer, made in China. And he's not just disappearing people. He's disappearing rights. And to that we say, disappear, we're still here. Our veterans, we're still here. We're still here. We're still here. That's right. And he wants to disappear our veterans and women and hardworking immigrants and our seniors and our kids and the sick. We're still here. So you are asking us, what is the plan? And I'll tell you this, we are not going to give a single vote to fascism inside the Congress because we know you're fighting outside the Congress. And so small victories will bring us big victories. We had a victory last Tuesday in Wisconsin. Thank you. We need a victory later this year in New Jersey and Virginia in the governor's race. And then we're going to march all the way to the midterms, and we're going to win on November 4, and we're going to cut our time in hell in half. So what my colleagues and I want to ask you, because just about a mile from here on January 6, 2021, we saw the bravest police officers they showed up and they defended our democracy.
There were a lot of great speeches given today, and the images of the crowds that we are going to check out a little bit later were so inspiring. I got to see some of it here in New York City, but it was across the country. Tens of thousands of people in Chicago or Utah, where I saw huge protests. In Utah, it was crazy. The scene in D.C. was incredible. So many folks on the ground covering it. Truly amazing to see. But one of the most amazing sights that wasn't seen in D.C. was an event that Donald Trump had to cancel because of these massive protests, and I want to get into that right here. Melania Trump reschedules White House tradition due to protests. First Lady Melania Trump's office is rescheduling Saturday's White House Spring Garden tours over concerns about nationwide protests. More than 1,100 hands-off rallies are being held across the country to protest Donald Trump's political, economic, health, and social policies. The movement, which also takes aim at Elon Musk's Department of Government efficiency and its gutting of the federal government, is expected to be the largest single-day protest since Trump took office in January. The Washington, D.C. event is taking place at the Washington Monument, about a mile from the White House. But out of an abundance of caution, the First Lady's office announced it's canceling Saturday's garden tours. The annual event is free and open to the public but requires tickets. Saturday ticket holders should come anytime on Sunday instead, while Sunday ticket holders should come at the regular times listed on their tickets, the White House said. So much panic at the White House that we are now canceling events. The reaction is palpable to these protests. It's not just inspiring joy and the fact that people feel like they have their agency back, but there's a little bit of fear in the hearts or whatever they have there. I don't think they do have hearts at the White House, which can make me oh so happy. But it's not the only embarrassment of Melania that is taking place, because an old figure of Donald Trump's love life has emerged, and she's screwing our national security. For more on that, Tim Miller.
Laura Loomer is such a wild-eyed conspiracy theorist. I mean, she's an unapologetic. I think you had on quotes in the intro. White nationalist, like, has said that about herself, like cheered the deaths of Muslims, said that, like, she hopes for more. I mean, like, a just nasty person. I will say, when I was at a bar one time when Carrie Lake accosted me, and Laura Loomer did de-escalate, so I don't have any personal things against her, so I appreciated that. But she is a...
Are they friends?
Didn't seem like it. She's a crazy person, and anybody who doesn't believe it could just Google Laura Loomer crazy or just look at her X feed if they wanted to get a sense for this. The fact that she is in the White House talking to the president saying you should fire people who are in charge of national security, and he apparently said, okay, Laura, great, and fired a couple of people who are in his National Security Council or support the National Security Advisor, and that's how the country's being run. And we have a Fox and Friends weekend host that is running the military, so it shouldn't be that surprising. But I think that it is really just important to, like, marinate on that the people with power in the White House or outside the White House are like these extreme fringe conspiracy theorists that have big followers online, and that they can dictate who is in charge of our country's security, your family's security. And just on this point, one other thing, over at the DOJ today, they had a briefing at the Department of Justice, and it was like Bannon, Benny Johnson, and it was just a whole rogues gallery of Loomer-esque weirdos that were, like, having a briefing at the DOJ about the politicization of our government. So, Justice Department, national security decisions are being decided by MAGA conspiracy bloggers. So that should help you sleep at night.
Laura Loomer is back, and with a vengeance, targeting the element of our government that was working the best, clearly our national security team. I hope you know I'm joking. Laura Loomer in the White House? Really? Tim said it all. But, like, what? Can we please get real? What? Why on earth? This just shows how little Donald Trump cares. I said this in a previous video. Doesn't really seem like a guy who's thinking about elections. Now, I really don't like to be, hyperbolic or conspiratorial, but there's just we don't really care. We'll do whatever we want attitude kind of radiating out of the White House, toxically, a toxic radiation out of the White House. And yeah, that's terrifying. It's why these public pressure campaigns are so important and why they're really scaring the White House really scaring him. So much so that Elon Musk is just making ridiculous posts about their coverage. And he did that with Rachel Maddow, what she had to say. So I want to take a look at a little bit of that and then get to what Elon said in his little baby meltdown.
Feels like it, right? That said, may I suggest that you go to bed kind of early, hydrate, eat your Wheaties in the morning, maybe put off the Friday night cocktail to make it a Saturday night cocktail this week, if at all. I'm only saying that because tomorrow is going to be very busy. Saturday is going to be very busy. I said at the top of the show, there are more than 1,200 protests planned for tomorrow in all 50 states. I stand corrected. It is more than 1,300 protests planned in more than in all 50 states. It's expected to be the largest single day of protest since Donald Trump took office. Joining us now is Ezra Levin. He's co-founder of Indivisible, which is one of the groups that is promoting these events tomorrow. Ezra, thanks very much for joining us tonight. You were here just a couple of 3 weeks ago talking about the earliest idea for April 5th being sort of a hub for events all over the country and in Washington.
So Rachel Maddow was covering these historic protests, and of course, any real journalism gets under the skin, or whatever, slimy outer coating it is that Elon Musk has on his weird robot body. And he had a little bit of a response to some conspiracies about these protests. So some weird right-wing Twitter account was speculating that George Soros was funding the protest of millions of people across the country. I guess they were each getting a penny. And Elon Musk was confirming that conspiracy, saying they will be. Now, this is, and I say this in jest, my favorite thing that Elon Musk is doing lately, the Soros scare campaign, saying that George Soros is buying up votes. He's paying protesters. He's writing people checks almost. It's almost like George Soros is writing people checks. It's almost like there's checks being written by someone for their political gain. It's almost like a billionaire is writing people these gigantic, like you could hold them up and show them checks. It's almost like there are checks being handed out to people for political purposes in these big shops. Oh, is that Elon? I'm sorry. It's like, that's Elon. That's literally exactly what you're doing. I'm sorry. That was a bit of a manic episode there from, it is absurd that Elon Musk of all people is, George Soros, he has spent like $1 billion over the past 365 days trying to buy elections, votes, judges, everything under the sun. And now he's doing a Soros bit. Oh, God, this guy's the worst. At least he's getting fired. That makes me feel better. I hope it makes you feel better as well. We're going to try to bring some positive news to this channel. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.